Hey everyone. So this is my first week back after I was gone for 2 weeks to do a class, and I had all that time where I was away from my family, away from my kids, and if I'm honest, I definitely missed them, but there were also a lot of ways in which it was kind of nice to be on my own. And obviously this week being in quarantine has been a kind of ironic reversal of that. But no matter how much we love our friends or our families or others, we can all appreciate sometimes the need to be alone occasionally. You could say they value our independence. Freedom is a big topic in Scripture. It's the focus of the foundational story of the Exodus. Paul says it's what the gospel provides. For freedom you have been set free, Galatians 5:1. And because of the cross and the resurrection, we are free from sin. Now, independence is a similar concept that we value as Americans, right? We're about to celebrate that this weekend. We think of freedom and independence as the same thing, right? But there are actually slight differences. One thing I notice as I look through different Bible translations is that freedom comes up a lot, but independence really doesn't. In fact, the Bible doesn't really have a word for it. The only reference I could find are some translations of 1 Corinthians 11:11, but the point there is that we are not independent from one another. So we should think about what is the real difference between freedom and independence, and ask, what is the greatest good? Looking at the difficult political situation through Israel's history, they weren't wrong to want independence from Egypt or from Rome. And it's possible, though, to argue that even when they weren't independent, they were free. And after all, Jesus didn't come to set the Israelites free from Rome, but he brought a different kind of freedom. Freedom goes beyond political situations. It's also not good to be totally independent of other people, independent in our personal relationships. That's what we want, right? We want to be self-sufficient. We don't want to have to rely on anybody else. I should be able to take care of all of my own needs. But that's not the biblical view. That's not the community that Christ has called us to. We need to depend on one another. It's okay to have our quiet time or alone time, but it's ultimately not good for people to be alone, as God said in the very beginning. And so God gives us a church community that we can depend on, that we can help others. That's the difference between the freedom that we give to ourselves and the freedom that comes from above. So which freedom are you going to live out this week?